Welcome back, everybody, to AI War Fleet Command. We're going to take another crack at this whole champion thing. Now, I'm setting up over here on the right. We're going to do the normal plus champion again. Same difficulty, same AI types, all of that. But I'm just changing some of the setup here. We had Human Colony Rebellions on 10. I'm taking that off completely. As mentioned, that's just going to mess with our low AI progress goal. Zenith Devourer, that's gone. We had the 9 Zool on. We're going to turn them off too. That doesn't really hurt anything other than, honestly, I'm just sick of them. They're mostly annoying, and if there's you need a bunch of them to have a significant impact, and if you do have a bunch of them, just slows down frame rate. As a general rule going forward, I'm going to do more of a specifically crafted, focused approach, as opposed to the kitchen sink deal, which I think made a lot of sense to get used to a lot of the options at the beginning of this LP. But now that we're nearing more towards the end of it, difficulty is much higher. I think it's going to work out much better to be focused on whatever specific things I'm going to work on for a particular playthrough. And this time, that's the hybrid hives and how they interact with the Dyson sphere, the Champions Nebula campaign, and doing low AI progress. So that's plenty of stuff to work on. And then in the AI plots, I also took off the beachhead, just because that's mostly just annoying. I don't think it adds that much. Again, pretty focused. We've got the Dark Spire, we've got the Dyson sphere, we've got our hybrids, we've got all of the different ship types, etc. And we're going to go forth with this as our approach. And here's our starting galaxy. We're going to start over here on the right in Radislava. Let's just sort of dip in here. Of course, there's our Shadow Frigate. We got the usual message to begin things off. And let's see what kind of ships we got. It's going to give us the Laser Gatling. Yuck. Well, you get what you get. So we're just kind of stuck with that. Now, for our initial research, I'm going to do a lot of the usual things here, but I'm going to do some things different. Tachyon Emitter, Grav Turret, Mark II, and our spiders. Where are those? There we go. I may go with some other things early on that I don't normally do. I'm not going to go with a command station, which I always do, except I want to have the option available, in case I need it, to go after the assault transports. Because I want to go with low AI progress at the beginning here, I do not want to restrict myself in where I'm going to advance. So I'm going to want to do that. Much better economic start if you go with logistic command stations, but in this particular case, I'm going to let that go. I am, of course, going to grab my scout drones, and that takes me up to 3,700. If I get the assault transport, then that's going to drop me down another 3,000, so that's going to be it. Let's take a look at where our nebula wormholes are. Okay, it looks like we've got one in Medea, one in Lachesis. Let's see, 4 hops there. 6, 5, 5, 7. You're only 5, even though you're way over there. So nothing quite as far away as the other one was in terms of hops, which is interesting. Now, presumably, these sort of introductory ones would be in Lachesis and Medea, but I don't really know for sure. I may end up doing them in slightly different order, but mostly my initial strategy here is going to be focused on I need to get to a factory as soon as possible, explore the rest of the map, before I start doing the champion stuff. And the reason for that is I need to know where the advanced hybrids are and what they're doing, so that I can try to combat that if I need to. And then everything else is going to flow out of the goal for that. I'll eventually want to upgrade the champion, obviously, to help us out, and to get the extra ships that we can get from those nebulas. That will be important. But even more important is getting the exploration down. So maximum scouting and minimal capturing, except where I absolutely need to. That's going to be the theme. So I'll come back when we get a little bit further into that process. Alright, we're just over 20 minutes in. We have handled a couple waves, no problem, and our initial scouting push is done. I have to say I'm thinking a lot more optimistically about this run, at least the early part of it, because we've gotten some serious good fortune here. Now, we haven't found the super terminal like we did last time. I'm going to want to get to that before I do any hacking. That's something that's in the not-so-great area, but we've explored, I don't know, maybe a third of the galaxy, close to half at this point, usual amount. And we found a couple really important things. One is, over here in Pulkova, is the Dyson sphere, which is, of course, busy merrily fighting away at the various, the AI around here. And it's been keeping everything under control here, so if we liberate this, which is one of our plans, and again, that's a slight nod to not going for super low AI progress, but it's not that much of one. It's one system. And they had a force field up here, and they had some other ships around here. They don't have those things anymore because the Dyson sphere has been taking care of business. All I got to do eventually is pop in some raid starships, knock this out, knock the data center out at, well, it'll give us a total of +5 AI progress, and this will be liberated. Now, what that'll do, of course, is eliminate a lot of the punch of the advanced hybrids. And as much as I'd like to see more of what they do, at the same time, I'd like to eliminate the threat, and then we'll see what they're going to come up with next. If there's anything else that the advanced hybrids will try to build, there probably is. Now, over here in Sindai and Lachesis are the neighboring systems, and there's nothing particularly interesting there. So I don't think we'll get that much help from the Dyson Golem, but it'll still be pretty cool to watch it do its thing. Now, we also found all of the starship constructors, advanced starship constructors, and advanced factories. Both of each of them. And at first, all I found was this advanced factory, which is going to be a pain in the butt. It's really well designed with lots of laser turrets. There's a regular fortress next to it, and then we've got special forces alarm nearby. You know, it was going to be a mess to try to take that. But as it turns out, Papagena is the other one. It's got a couple of ion cannons, so we're going to need to go in there with starships. And of course, jumping right into a Mark III conquest is not the best. But we should be able to get scouted out here real quick. And of course, we're neighboring then a Mark IV. So that would be a little bit interesting. We'll want to try to deal with that. We also are neighboring a Mark II, a Mark II. You know, so there's not going to be a huge buildup, but we'll definitely want to be careful once we go in here. But I don't see any reason not to do it anyway. I think it's sort of worth the risk, and then we'll want to knock out all of this stuff in here eventually. Maybe beachhead in here down the road. And then we can just sort of use the fleet, theoretically, to clear things out, knock out hybrid facilities, etc., while I go on with the champion. With the Dyson sphere knocked out over here, we'll have about 35 AI progress, what we should have. Knocking out 2 systems, minus the 1 data center. We have more data centers we can hit if we want. There's one in Europa. And that's a nice, low, really low mark. And then we can have our knowledge of the rest of the galaxy and make our plan. So that's the goal. Here is Papagena, our target. And I tried a number of things. I spent quite a bit of time on this, trying to figure out what the best way was to attack it. I tried, you know, just moving in the starships, but turns out we don't really have enough critical mass this early in the game. We can't build enough of them due to limited energy. Can't build metal converters because we only have one system. We don't have very much metal coming in. You can see it's fairly low still. So that wasn't an option. I tried knocking out the command station just to limit their reinforcements and gradually take them down, but there was just too much force for us to do that. Tried, you know, building up a quick command station over here. That didn't work. I've got to take a more gradual approach here. And the first thing I want to do is to work out get rid of the ion cannons. I've actually already gotten rid of them on the way in Letitia. It's a 3-step journey. Iapetus, Letitia, and then Papagena. So I'm heading over here first, because this is where, as soon as they show up, where the first ion cannon is, and there we go. Now, instantly, I want to get out of the way. Just get away from all this. And yeah, one of them is really badly damaged, but they're all still alive, which is important. I don't think I could come around and do this if they weren't. Okay, let's slide over here. And okay, now they're starting to come out towards me. And that's the big one. That's the Mark III ion cannon. Bingo, we got it. Now, this guy's almost dead. He's gonna die completely. I don't care. So that's phase one, knocking out the ion cannons. And because we can't afford to build a bunch of starships, we've got to do this with fleet ships. It is Mark I going against Mark III, so that'll be interesting. There's no way I can do that with the ion cannons around ripping me up. And the other thing is, well, wouldn't you want to capture them? We're going to have to put the defense over here. We've got one ion cannon over here on the opposite side of the system. They could take it out anytime they want. And the Mark III one is right here by a hostile wormhole. So the way they're positioned, it just doesn't work. They're not positioned in a place that we're going to be able to capture them and make use of them. So especially given how much of a pain they are to overcome in attacking the system, totally not worth it. Here's the next stage. We've assembled our battle fleet, such as it is. All the bombers, all the fighters, all the missile frigates, one flagship. That's to just boost our attack level. The Enclave starships for that steady attack that they do. And of course, our wonderful Shadow frigate. You may wonder why not more? Because we only have about 5,000 energy left. Just under 5,000 actually, and this was 111,000 now. It was down to less than 80,000 when we finished this. So this is pretty much what we can afford at this point. Now, a bunch of threat collects in here after we knock out those ion cannons that we worked on. So that's my first task. And we've also got some ships over here that might get annoyed. So I just want to move this way, fight these, and avoid those. Of course, the general purpose of preserving the fleet as best we can. They're not coming after us. Okay, that's fine. They might, though, once the Enclave starships get their dander up. Now, here's a new ship. The Zenith reprocessor, Mark III. And these, as it says, they basically metabolize the target. Now, if we're using these to basically get metal for it, and it says the AI ones, they do generate salvage, meaning it'll boost whatever they get from their reprisal wave. So we get reprisal waves sooner, but from any ships that are destroyed by these. I think is how that works. But in any case, let's move in here, and I want to knock these out. Missile Guardians, make them go away. We're rebuilding the ships that we're losing, which is a good thing because we're losing a fair amount. Let's get rid of them. Alright, let's move down here and knock out all of this. Yep, and then comes all of that in. So they're going to join the fun, and I need to get my reinforcements in here while all this is going on. Oh, there's our Mark I reprisal. Good for it. It'll actually feed us metal, so we're not complaining about that either. So after playing Ring Around the Rosie with a few hybrids, we made one more jump, and there wasn't that much going on Letitia, and then we came in here. And here my goal is to just fight off whatever I can. Whoops. Let's make sure that we get you back here. Yeah, I want to retreat towards the edge and knock out whatever I can in this system. And hopefully gain supremacy, but we'll see if we've got enough firepower to do that. And there's a Missile Guardian. Raider Guardians are nice and fragile. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of those polarizers because they'll paralyze everything. Let's see, riot control. So I'm basically just, targeting what I can that appears to be a target of high priority. You know what? I need to get you back here. Here comes some more riot control. There goes some more riot control. So we're definitely doing pretty well, I think. Let's knock out some of these parasites. Okay, and then we got some reprocessors. And there, the reprisal hitting Radislava. I think that will be fine in our homeworld. At least for now. But we don't have that much left in here. I have at least kept the Enclave starships around, so they're successfully doing their thing, adding to our firepower. And of course our Shadow Frigate's doing fine as well. Oh, there goes the flagship. That's not going to help any. Let's see. What do they have left? So it looks like we're just going to make it. Like we're going to survive in here. But we're not going to really have enough to do anything with. So I think I need to rebuild and come back in here as soon as we survive these waves. Turns out it didn't quite work out. There was too much steady pressure in here. Not by a lot, but there was some. So I had to flee with my Shadow Frigate so I didn't lose it. And then provoke even more response. And then come back in with everything reconstituted. But as you can see, there isn't a whole lot here. They do like the parasites, the red AI type. Want to again separate off our Enclave starships. There's an MLRS down here. Send the bombers after that. Well, everything really. Everything that's not particularly good against. So I think I can send... Yeah, I can send the frigates too, can't I? Yeah, bombers and frigates. Just don't want to send the fighters in there. Anyway, I want to start cleaning out this system gradually. Once we get a little bit more under control, I can send in a colony ship and take over. And of course, I am going to try to use the lovely projected shadow shield when I can. Made pretty quick work of that once we got into position. And at this point I split into two groups. I've got the bombers, the fighters, and the shadow frigate in this group. And that's my attack group because I've got Needler turrets, which are going to rip up... Where are they? Yep, they'll rip up the artillery, which is the missile frigates. And they'll also do some good punishment to the starships, but my goal here is to just sort of punish them and get the Shadow Frigate shields to prevent it from taking too much damage. Just going to wait till these stop a little bit. There we go. Throw a couple more of those up. And then this other group over here, hopefully handle that riot control without too much trouble. Yeah, they're taking their sweet time pounding that down, aren't they? Oh well, I think we got this. Yeah, we did. That was nothing. So, basically just trying to multitask these two groups. Probably want to keep them a little bit close together. And clean out the system. Alright, we've got these two bunches of wormhole defenses up here. And I want to work my way around to that Needler. And it's probably about time to get that colony ship moving and coming in here. Alright, colony ship now on the way. We're making our final approach to this Needler. There we go. Champion getting a bit of experience. And let's knock out this command station. No, command station. There we go, and we're up to level 2 now with the champion. Oh, and here's our lovely thing that we're waiting for. There we go. And of course I want to build this. I'm going to go with regular logistics for now. I want to build this. Well, do I want logistics or military? Because my goal is to defend this. I think I want to go with actually Mark 1 military. Okay, so we're going to send this up and guarding over this, and we'll probably have to do a two-prong stretch of turrets. My goal is to defend this like my life depends on it, because it kind of does. So, here is Papagena all set up. I did get rid of the Enclave starships to get some energy. I did also a bit of research, because with the 6, yes, 6, different wormholes that can lead into here, I did 2 prongs. Was able to, I think, just get away with 1 prong of mainline ones, and then 2 prongs these ways. But I needed a little bit more range on the tractor beam turrets to cover all the territory of approach that I want. So I did also unlock those Mark II tractor beams and the assault transports, which, of course, we're going to need. Takes me down to 3,000 energy, but we're building another science lab to get more in here. Now we've got our Mark IV Scout. It's on its way. It's over this way. It's exploring. We're going to learn all about that stuff at another time. But my next target is I want to get the raid starships into Pulkova. You can see some of the Dysons now are changing directions to come after me. So I may not be able to do this in one go, but I'm hoping I'll be able to. And what are they shooting at over here? Oh, that's a Zenith 3 processor. Okay. But basically, they're keeping this whole system clear of the enemy, which is very nice. That's going to make this probably a bit easier. Now, the first thing I want to hit is the data center. There it is. And why am I getting a reprisal now? I'm going to go after now the command station, because if we can take that out, then the Dyson will leave us alone. Come on. Hit it. Hit it. Okay, we're going to have to come back, I think. Yeah, I didn't quite get there. We're going to have to rebuild and then come back. Oh, look, they left to go to Lachesis. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen them leave. Okay. They're attacking the AI over here. I didn't know they would do that. Cool, cool, cool. So they're going to be in some sort of never-ending battle. Now, I knew they'd do that once we liberated it, but we haven't actually liberated this yet. Yeah, I've got to free the planet from the AI. We'll help you on nearby planets. We'll attack you till you give up the planet if you take the planet for yourself. And all I did is take out the data center, and they're still coming in here. Alright, and we're back, and let's see how this works. There we go. Boom. Now, from what I recall, it's the ones that are created after you liberated it. So, let's see. You just came out. Trying to see if there's any difference. Because they look different. I think these are the ones that will ignore me. But in any case... Yep, okay, the barracks split off, but we're going to get out of here. Because we've done everything we can for those happy Dysons, and now it's up to them what they do. Now over here in Lachesis, oh, they're not fighting so much here anymore, but they were. So I'll be curious to see what they do over time, what they try to attack, you know, how much of an impact do they have in this region of space. But I think I'm going to leave that for next time. So we're definitely going to want to try to clean up as much of the resistance in the systems around here as we can. And obviously I'll probably try to reduce the amount of guard posts eventually in the ones, don't know how much effort I'll put into that, but in the ones that are the higher mark ones so that they'll get more reinforcements than the lower mark ones. Starting to build up a bit of a thing here in Fat Samurai. It'd probably be worth going in there and cleaning that out once. And then I also think it's time to get the champion upgraded and start benefiting from that. We are pretty low on energy, and we've got to wait. Of course, got a whole bunch of stuff getting explored up here. But I think I want to get the champion off on a mission or two while my scout does its thing. So we'll be looking at all those results next time. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More AI War will continue, and hopefully this time we're going to get this try right.